You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I like me now, San Francisco, Frisco. That was awesome. Oh, that was so good. Dodgers take the series 3-1, 6-4 today. Brett Honeywell, how about this guy? Comes in to close it out. Way to go. I was hoping he could have done it in under 10 pitches. I think it took him 11, 12. Dominant performance. Bullpen, all in all, very good. A little shaky with Trinan and Vesia, but those guys have been pretty lights out of late, and in the end, they get it done today. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince as well doing the Locked On Dodgers Daily Podcast. This episode, excuse me, of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. Off to a good start in this game. Clayton Kershaw came out, got into a little bit of a jam in the first, but no harm done there. Survived through 4. Had one frame where he gave up 4 consecutive hits, but then struck out the side. So I don't think there's a lot to feel too awful about with this Kershaw start. 2 runs, 6 hits, no decision, gave up 2 walks and 6 Ks. The Ks were mostly sliders, which was, I don't want to say it was devastating, but it was very good. Good location, good action, and the Giants didn't have any clue. They had a tough time dealing with it. And then he had a 12-6 curveball for a strikeout, and then another slider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing 1, but I thought the 12-6 curveball was very, very tough to hit. It was reminiscent of Kershaw's 12-6 curveball when he was at his best. It was working, and it is just a devastating pitch. And at times it looked as good as it's ever looked. So that was nice to see that all of his stuff was there. The velocity is still needing more. When he's humping up a fastball, maybe we'll get 93. But when you've got that slider that looks like a fastball and then just drops off the table, it doesn't really matter how fast his fastball is, because they think that's the fastball, and it ends up just floating in there and, again, falling off the table. It's just a tough one. Oh, thank you, Dan, for putting this up. I can actually show this comment, a comment from Dan. FTG, do the math. Mr. Seabad, that's a wrap. Kershaw did okay. Yeah, he sure did for his first time out. I think it was a little better than okay, Craig. You guys are tough critics. Nando, Kershaw looks like the drunk uncle at the barbecue trying to show everyone he used to be a pitcher, or how he used to pitch. I thought it was good. He kept his composure when it got tough there. The 4 singles, we were all kind of biting our fingernails a little bit, wondering if that would be the end of this outing. But I feel like Joe and Oral did a really good job of kind of through osmosis motivating him to, refocus and lock down, because right after those 4 singles, Oral made the comment, Kershaw gets into jams like this and then he gets right out of them. And that's exactly what happened. The 3 consecutive Ks to end that inning were desperately needed and pretty clutch. Joe Kelly, I thought, looked really good coming in after Kershaw gave up 1 hit, struck out 3, and his sinker was really bizarre looking, but tough to follow. I mean, wicked, hard to hit, and had some stellar movement on it today. It looked more like a 2-seam at times. It was kind of with that tail at the end coming back in like a screwball on a right-handed hitter. So it had that late action, which made it really tough. And it was like at 99 miles an hour on a couple of them there. So Joe Kelly seems to be rounding back into form and looked very, very good today. Daniel Hudson came in after that, gave up 1 walk, struck out 2, the rest zeros, 18 pitches for him. His ERA still at 1.49. Evan Phillips came in again, trying to regain the confidence that the closer would need and require. I think today's outing was really good for him and definitely will help him get back to that spot where he was not too awful long ago. 1 inning, 1 strikeout on 13 pitches, the rest zeros. Now, Vesia has been a little leaky of late. 2/3 of an inning today, couldn't get through the frame through 20 pitches, gave up 2 earned on 2 hits. And then Trinan came in and gave up a hit, which was charged to Vesia, and that tied the game. Vesia's ERA, starting to climb, but still under 2 at 1.79. And Trinan's ERA continues to fall off. He's at 2.0. And then Honeywell came in for the save. I think we're all becoming big fans of the turtleneck guy. Didn't notice if he was wearing it today because I was already in here getting ready for the postcast. But he went 1 frame, 0.79, and the ERA is sub 1, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and the save. So good stuff from him. The screwball continues to be really, really, really wicked and devastating for opponents. They don't like it. And I think one of the reasons that was mentioned that a lot of people have a tough time with the screwball. And I was unaware of this piece of technology, but I guess it's not all that surprising that Major League Baseball, like most other things in our world, in our lives, have some very cool high-tech stuff that can help them improve at what they do. I guess there is a pitching machine that you can type in the type of pitch from a certain pitcher. Like, I want to see Clayton Kershaw's 12-6 curveball, and this machine can throw that pitch. So you can get used to it, get comfortable with it, etc. But for whatever dumb reason, this high technology pitching machine does not know how to throw a screwball. They're like, yeah, we just don't get that. Like, how is that possible? All it is a different spin on the ball. But they say that it just doesn't do it. It cannot replicate the screwball. It can replicate the slider, the sinker, the sweeper, all of those things, but it can't do the screwball. So maybe that's the reason that Honeywell is tough to hit right now. But I like what I see out of him, and it's all good. So I think the bigger part of this game, as we spent the first 8 minutes talking about the pitching, the bigger part, the more impressive part of this game was the offense. 14 hits in all. Everyone but Shohei with a hit. That's got to suck when you're that guy. Everyone in the lineup got a hit today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with multiple hits. The bottom of the lineup, excluding Jason Hayward, Kike, Austin Barnes, and Nick Ahmed, 7 hits from those guys. The bottom of the lineup definitely has it roll, and we'll get into the offensive production in this game after the break, as well as a detailed breakdown with the Diamond Dogs list. Dodgers with a 3-1 series win after a 6-4 win today. That is win number 62, I believe, versus 42 losses, 34-20 at home. That's dominant right there. 14 games over 500 at the Ravine. Way to go. Giants are 49-55, 21-33 on the road. Hey, it's been fun. See you later, San Francisco, because we won't be seeing you. Unfortunately, quite honestly, I mean, the way it's been going for the Dodgers, I would like to see them a little bit more, but this was their last meeting of the season. And I don't believe the Giants will be in the postseason, but you never know. A 6-4 win today. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. With the break, come back for the Diamond Dogs list. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Supply House. Get supplies from the site that let me start over there. Take two, snap. Get supplies from the site that's made for skilled trades, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, electrical products, all online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get an expert on the phone, a real live person, and an industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros and skilled trades can give you a competitive edge by joining supplyhouse.com's free trade masters program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. I love me some free shipping. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Today's show also brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. It's just the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS, and it's pretty simple. You against the numbers. That's all you got to do is find 2 or more players, up to 6, pick their stat projections for the day, for the game, and watch the winnings roll in. They have cool promotions going on at Prize Picks, like lowering stat projections on Tuesday, make it a little bit easier to win. And then on Fridays, tomorrow, you get your entry fee back if you lose. So check them out, prizepicks.com. They give you up to $100 matching on your first deposit. prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. That's prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states like California, Georgia, and Texas. So take care or take advantage of that bonus up to $100 matching on your first deposit. It's prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Pick more, pick less. Prize Picks. It is that easy. All right, Dodgers, a 6-4 win today. Not going to say they cruised in this one. Not going to say it was easy at any point in time, but I definitely feel like there was a ton of confidence, not just in this game, at the plate through this entire series. The Dodgers yesterday, I guess, was pretty anemic. They kind of went to sleep yesterday. Didn't seem to have that aggression, that determination, that willingness, or that fight that they've had since the All-Star break. By the way, 6 of 7. So they've kind of washed away that awful finish to the pre-All-Star break portion of the season where they lost 6 of 7. So a nice way to start the second half, or the post-All-Star break portion of the season, was 6 of 7 wins. Yesterday, though, wasn't great, but a nice bounce back today. Again, 14 hits, 2 from Shohei, including a home run late. Teoscar Hernandez had a hit. Freddie Freeman had a hit. That was late and important. Pajes a hit and a run scored. Everyone chipping in. Gavin Lux continuing to be red hot on the Diamond Dogs list a couple of times. So let's get to that. For number 5 today, Kike Hernandez got things started. An oppo base hit to right. An RBI single off the sweeper, just poked it through the right side. That was a really, really nice piece of hitting there. And it was classic waiting on the sinker, shortening up the swing, and just going with it. And you know, that's what Logan Webb was giving them today, and they were taking advantage of it. Right after Kike, Austin Barnes, almost an identical replica of the Kike hit. Shortened up, poked it through the right side, and it extends his hitting streak to 11 games in a row. Austin Barnes is red hot, so that's number 4 on the Diamond Dogs list. For number 3, Gavin Lux, a couple of hits. He had a leadoff double to left in the 4th, came off of a sinker, and then a single in the 5th. And I believe the first one was an RBI single. For number 2, Kike, a double, went to the opposite field again in the 4th inning. That tied the game, and that came off a sinker. So really, I mean, the sinker is Logan Webb's favorite pitch. It's usually his best pitch, but today the Dodgers were just feasting on it. They were waiting, and they were getting that ball right where they wanted it and taking advantage of it. For number 1, because we have the game-changing moment and a couple of honorable mentions, but number one before the eighth inning heroics, Austin Barnes, a go-ahead RBI single in the fourth, down the third baseline, which came off of a changeup. So a 2-hit game for him. Again, 7 hits from the bottom of the lineup, 3 from Kike, 2 from Austin, and Nick Ahmed, who put the Dodgers ahead after the Giants had rallied back to tie it in the top of the 8th inning. Vesia gave up a couple of runs along with the help of Blake Trinan. So the Dodgers had to rally back, and it didn't take long. Nick Ahmed, the game-changing moment with the go-ahead home run in the 8th. And then right on his heels, Shohei Ohtani goes back-to-back for number 31. Not to be outdone by the newest Dodger, Nick Ahmed. So Shohei Ohtani continuing to do what he does. Nothing terribly all that spectacular today, except for a really nice home run and what was the first hit? I don't remember, but no Ks today. So that's another positive from Shohei Ohtani. Anytime he can go out there and not strike out, to me, I feel like that's big, because he doesn't care about striking out, nor does anybody else. And when he can go out, put up 2 hits and get on base 3 times, because he walked his first at bat, grounded out to the pitcher, doubled to left, and then flied out to center and homered in the 8th. So hit the ball very well today and was on it, not flailing, keeping his front side in as much as he can. So it to me is just, again, he's a great hitter. There's no way to argue it. I feel like he could be a better hitter if he wanted to, but it's not there all the time for him. And when he looks, because when he looks good, it's so good. I think it makes you frustrated when he looks bad, when he's flailing and pulling out his front side and over swinging, because it just doesn't seem necessary. So today was a great game for Shohei Ohtani. There's no two ways about that. But also a great game for the bottom of the lineup. Again, the only guy to not get a hit in today's offensive attack was Jason Hayward, but Gavin Lux continues to be aggressive at the plate. And I think that's what it's about for him of late more than anything. I don't know what else he's changed. I've always thought his swing is very good, but he seems to be a little bit more selective and a little bit more aggressive on balls in the zone, right? He's not over swinging. He's not swinging at bad pitches. And that is something he was doing early on in April and May. So he's definitely become just a more selective, determined, aggressive hitter. Walked his first time at bat, doubled to left, singled to right, and then struck out swinging his last time up. So 3 times on base for Gavin Lux, which is good to see in a 6-4 win. The win for the Dodgers, again, they're 62nd. Let's see where that puts them in the standings after this series, where they have won 6 of 7 out of the break. They are 7.5 up on the Padres, 8.5 up on the Diamondbacks. Padres have won 6 of their last 10. And the Diamondbacks, again, I think are 7 of their last 10 in the win column. Yeah, the Padres on a nice little run. They play today here just a little bit. They're about to get underway against the Orioles. So that's going to be a tough one. Hopefully Baltimore can put a win up against San Diego, snap that winning streak, which is now 5 in a row for San Diego, and give the Dodgers a little bit more cushion there in the West, because there's no break for them. They have no rest for the weary. They are right on a plane here in a couple of hours heading to Houston to face the Astros, who are also playing pretty well of late. They have caught the Seattle Mariners in the American League West thanks to the Angels, because the Angels have just been beating up on the Mariners. The Angels are not a very good team, 45-57, 8 games out of first place, now currently held by the Astros, who have jumped ahead of the Seattle Mariners, who were swept by the Angels in this 3-game series at T-Mobile. So the Mariners have dropped 8 of their last 10, while the Angels have won 7 of their last 10, and the Astros are 500 over their last 10, but they had a win in their last game when the Mariners lost, and that put them in first place. So they're 53-49 as the Dodgers fly off to Minute Maid to face them in a weekend series, which starts tomorrow at 5:10 10, it'll be Gavin Stone, and I don't feel like he's pitched in forever, but he did pitch coming right out of the break against Framber Valdez, who is a very good pitcher. A little bit, the numbers are not great for him this year. 8-5, a 3.63 ERA, and a 1.28 WHIP. So this is going to be a tight one. Gavin Lux wasn't great his last time out either. He did okay. I feel like the Dodgers starters have all just kind of been okay, good enough, right? And the bullpen has come in to take care of business, and they've been, it's like they've all kind of leveled out a little bit. You know, we were going through this period of time where the bullpen was propping up the starting rotation, and they got tired. They couldn't keep it up during the end of the first half of the season. And then it kind of turned around a little bit where the bullpen was shaky, but the starters were doing okay. And now I feel like over the last couple of games, the bullpen has been pretty good and the starters have been pretty good. So all in all, it seems to have kind of leveled out. And I think Padres played today already. Oop, my bad. Sorry, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah, that was the no-hitter. I love it when ESPN sends out that jinx text, like no hitter alert, which didn't evidently cause them any issue. So the Padres no hit the Nats today. Very nice. They were forever. The Padres were the only team in Major League Baseball that did not have a no hitter. And over the last 3 or 4 years, now they have 2. Dylan Cease. He's now 10-8. How many hits did he give up? I mean, how many hits did he give up? No hits. How many pitches did he throw is what I was trying to say. He had 9 Ks, 3 walks, and 114 pitches. Holy cow. Got to appreciate the Padres manager, who I don't even know who that is now. I'm forgetting. But that would never happen with the Dodgers, right, Jeff? Not a chance that Dave Roberts would have anybody throw 114 pitches for a no-hitter. Never in a million years, which is really unfortunate. So kudos to the Padres manager on letting Dylan Cease complete that no-hitter with 114 pitches. So damn Padres won't go away. I hate that. Dodgers, though, playing well right now, so it's all good. They're 7.5 up on the Pods after the 6-4 win today over the hated ones, the San Francisco Giants, and they are on their way to Houston to face the Astros here starting tomorrow. I'm Pete Fox. We'll take the final break, come back and wrap it up, and just try to heap some more praise on this Dodger team today because they did a lot of things really good. This was a fun game to watch. Very enjoyable win today and a very enjoyable series. All in all, yesterday was kind of a groaner, but you take 3 or 4 from your rivals. There is nothing really to complain about there. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. All right, today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by booking.com. That's right. Yeah. With summer travel heating up, especially for baseball games, it's time to explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to, but maybe didn't have the desire or the urge because it is your rival's city, like San Francisco, for example. Great city, but a lot of us don't want to go there unless it's to watch the Dodgers beat up on the Giants. But there's plenty to see in the Bay Area, plenty to do up there. It's a great getaway. It's a relatively short drive from Southern California. It's 6-8 hours, something like that, depending on where you are. Worth checking out to be sure. Now, I know as the Dodgers head off to Houston, some people consider them a rival because of their World Series history of late. I got no desire to see Houston, I'll be honest with you, but maybe you do. There are other cool cities in Texas to check out, like Austin, which is not far from Houston, but depending on, what your desire is and what's on your list, booking.com can help you find a great place to stay with hotels, bed and breakfasts, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more. Booking.com, you might just find your perfect stay, even in your baseball rivals city. From hotels that overlook the stadiums like Petco in San Diego to family-friendly resorts. Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this Major League Baseball season. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com, on the site, or in the app. Today's show also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is great. Game Time is one of my favorites when it comes to getting tickets for a game. It's the authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster, easier, and more affordable. Prices on Game Time actually go down the closer you get to first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in pricing, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets or tickets to anything. It's not just baseball, football, basketball, hockey, theater, concerts. Everything you're looking for is on Game Time. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game. The view from the seat thing is awesome. All-in pricing and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time will credit you 100%, 110% of the difference if you can find a cheaper ticket. Game Time ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem Locked On MLB, LOCKEDON MLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, Dodgers, hold on for a 6-4 win today over the Padres, over the Giants. I'm still stuck on this Padres box score. The 3-0 shutout no-hitter from Dylan Cease for the Padres today. No-hitters are cool. I felt like today at times I was lucky enough to be at Clayton Kershaw's last no-hitter. I believe it was against Colorado, potentially. Anyway, that day he was obviously unhittable and absolutely locked in. And today at times that curveball, I don't want to say he was the same pitcher as he was during that no-hitter, but at times the curveball and the slider were reminiscent of Clayton Kershaw at his best. And that was cool to see. It's a good feeling. I don't know that Clayton Kershaw is going to be, a top 3 starter when we get to the postseason on this team, but you never know. Maybe anything's possible. Obviously, we hope that he continues to improve and gain more confidence, gain more dominance, get a little bit more strength. His minor league rehab stuff was all pretty good. And so I had a fair amount of confidence coming into this one that he'd be pretty good, be okay. He'd take care of business, and he did. Would have liked to see 5 out of him, but 4, I guess, is good enough. You don't want him to get too tired. You don't want him to get worn out. He threw 72 pitches. I feel like he probably had 10 more in him. It didn't seem all that worn out. Kershaw is a gamer. He probably wanted to go back out, but they're just trying to be safe. And in this particular situation, I felt like that's okay. He's an old man for baseball standards. And as I said, the bullpen's been good. So all in all, it was a positive outing. I thought I look at it and go, yeah, I feel like there's something there with him. He's still got gas in the tank. I don't feel like he's the guy we saw the last time we saw him at Dodger Stadium against the Arizona Diamondbacks, getting beat up badly. I think most Dodger fans have done their best to try to wipe that memory from their memory banks. And I think today helped with that a little bit. Obviously, Kershaw's postseason record is not as stellar as his regular season record, but I still believe that he's got pitching to offer. He's got a performance that can be helpful to this team every 4 or 5 days down the stretch of the season and then into the playoffs. I don't know if he's a middle relief guy. They're obviously going to shorten the rotation. Hopefully Yamamoto is healthy by the time we get there. Hopefully Tyler Glass now improves a little bit. He could be the 3rd starter though, Gavin Stone, Tyler Glass now, then Kershaw. Is that a crazy thought? Who knows? I think it is if Yamamoto is healthy. But if Yamamoto is healthy, then Kershaw's maybe your fourth guy. Maybe he's your long relief guy. I don't know. He had 6 Ks today. And it still appears that people have a tough time putting bat on ball against Clayton Kershaw. So here's a big thing about Kershaw that I think a lot of people overlook and forget because of his age. He's a really good pitcher. He knows how to pitch. Just because his skills are waning a little bit in the twilight of his career, he's still very tactful. So there's definitely a lot to offer there. I don't know if they will be willing to rely on him in the postseason as a starter, but we'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully his next start will be better than this one. But this one was pretty damn good. And all in all, a good game for the Dodgers, fun to watch. And the fact that they were able to rally back a couple of different times was confidence building for sure. So a 6-4 win today, 20 games over 500, 62-42, 34-20 at home. On the airplane, happy plane today as they fly off to Houston to take on the Astros tomorrow, a little after 5:00 at Minute Maid. Framber Valdez goes for the cheating Astros versus Gavin Stone for the Dodgers. And of course, we will talk right here on the Locked On Dodgers Sports, the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, and the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Again, we will talk tomorrow right after Dodgers take on the Astros to look to keep this nice little streak going coming out of the All-Star break where they have won 6 of their last 7. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We will talk again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good one.